I am turning bullish on Bitcoin. We are watching digital currency group, Binance. We're gonna watch CPI, and obviously we have the bank earnings this week and some really cool announcements from big new app today coming out. And let's see what's gonna happen on DeFiChain. This and much more we're gonna discuss in today's video. I hope you're doing well. Happy Monday. Happy start into this 28th week of 2023. I hope you're doing well. And by the way, if you have been watching these videos a bit more regularly and you want to help the channel, then click the subscribe button. Remember, you click subscribe, prices go up. So you don't want to risk it. Don't put a bad omen on it. With this, let's get started. Last week, first week into the months, into the quarter, into the second half, and pretty much turned out as we had expected it to. Prices super flat, both on crypto, both on stocks. One thing that was noticeable is a bit of a sentiment shift. Even though prices stayed very stable, I feel people are getting a bit nervous again. And maybe this is just kind of a bit of a gut feeling or a bit of a sentiment, but I do feel it a bit. I don't know what's been your feeling in all this. Let me know. Do you think in the last week sentiment changed? I feel people are expecting it to move a bit faster, obviously, right? You had the ETF news, you had Larry Fink come out from BlackRock, be super bullish on Bitcoin, news from RFK, potential presidential candidate, coming out saying, hey, you know what, I bought actually he said his wife bought $250,000 worth of Bitcoin. He's super bullish on Bitcoin. So yeah, all kinds of things that are very, very nice. And then there was this very interesting blog post from Arthur Hayes where he talked about AI and how AI may use Bitcoin. And especially that article got a bit of a change in my sentiment also. So far, I really appreciate Bitcoin a lot because of ordinals and so on. I was always kind of thinking, hey, you know what? I don't know if people really going to use it in a decentralized manner. But one thing where I really agree on is that AI doesn't have these issues about the user experience. And I think that's going to drive a lot also for Lightning. So I think AI and these things are going to be very, very strong with Lightning. So these are things that I'm going to see very, very bullish. So for me, dollar cost averaging, Bitcoin, Ethereum, DeFiChain, and very bullish on all three. So obviously, short term, mid term, always difficult to kind of predict, but this is really long term. Now, obviously, if you want to use the platform that I'm involved with, then go to bake.io and dollar cost average there. That's kind of the first thing in all this. Now, big news from last week, and this is something we really have to watch this week as well. Digital Currency Group is really kind of getting some heat right now. Gemini filed, I think, a suit on Friday against Digital Currency Group, against Barry Silbert, and is clearly alleging fraud in there. I think it's very straightforward. Obviously, Digital Currency Group came out and said, these are just baseless allegations. I think the pushback from Digital Currency Group very weak. A lot of these things in there are very factually well laid out on the Gemini side. And Digital Currency Group just went and said, these are baseless allegations. Let's see. And especially, let's see a bit on what are actually the consequences. Very difficult to kind of make this up right now, for a very simple reason, that it's just difficult to kind of guesstimate what would be the effects down the line. What would happen if the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust gets, unraveled or gets converted into a spot ETF, or will it or won't it? So very, very tricky. And I understand that some of the market there were some market shivers. It also coincided a bit with the jobs numbers last week. FOMC last week was very expected. So it was just a little bit of some shivers there. And then the other part, right, and you really saw people kind of getting nervous in this, was the entire thing around Binance. So clearly, some executives at Binance getting a bit scared. Obviously, there's rumors, and these rumors have been ongoing for quite some time. There are rumors that there will be a Department of Justice investigation into Binance from a criminal standpoint. Obviously, that would be a big shakeup. So these are things that are going to be very key and absolutely crucial. I think in a crypto sense as a whole, I'm expecting the week to go rather flat. There will be these market shivers. I don't foresee the bullish kind of push now, but I also don't see the bearish kind of push. So for me, fantastic times to dollar cost average. general markets this week gonna give us a very, very good sense on what the Fed's gonna do end of the month. Now, I'm expecting end of the month the Fed's gonna go out and raise interest rates by 25 basis points. It's gonna be a very minor raise. And personally, I still think we're gonna see somewhat of a recession in the US later in the year, maybe beginning of next year. Europe is already in a recession, and Germany is in a recession, so some of the major kind of economies are in a recession. I think there was just a very much kind of held up demand that kind of got unleashed, that kind of helped everything a little bit, and I don't think that fundamentally the economy and everything is in too good of a shape. So I definitely expect that there will be some kind of receding economy later in the year. So that's going to be a very interesting one in all of that. So that's something I'm definitely going to be watching as a whole. Now we're going to see bank earnings this week, and that's going to be crucial because we're going to see the large banks. And obviously, if you remember, I mean, it feels like this is ages ago already, we had a bit of this banking crisis at the end of last quarter, at the end of first quarter, and then beginning of the second quarter. And it looked like for a short moment we're going to have something like that in the second quarter as well, but then we didn't. And so now it's just interesting to kind of see how are banks going to deal with this. And I'm expecting that there actually should be some very, very massive earnings in the banking sector if everything kind of goes as I'm expecting this to. So that's going to be an interesting one. And then Wednesday, we're going to have CPI numbers. Now that obviously is relevant. Let's see how much these prices dropped year over year. There is definitely an expectation that we are seeing inflation coming down, and this will definitely be an important one. Now, at the moment, inflation looks like it's lower than the interest rate, so interest rate should really get a strong grip on inflation with this actually, and that's going to be interesting how this is going to play out. This is key, crucial, because other than the earnings that we're going to have this month from companies, there won't be much other economic data that the Fed will use to either not raise rates or raise them by 25 basis points. And again, I think we're going to be raising by 25 basis points. So that's my expectation in all of that. So I'm expecting on that sense, I don't expect many surprises. I don't expect CPI is going to be a surprise. I don't expect the earnings are going to be a surprise. I don't think we're going to see some surprises right now in the crypto market. I mean, again, sure, there can always be something popping up, but there would be no expectations. If you're playing poker here right now, you are expecting the cards. I mean, sure, there can always be the outlier, but it's not, at the moment, I wouldn't be expecting that. DeFiChain may actually announce this week the actual hard fork date for MetaChain layer. That's going to be an interesting one. That's going to be very exciting. I see a lot of projects on testnet there, so this makes me very bullish on DeFiChain right now. I do see strong possibilities for DeFiChain to outperform in the crypto market. Let's see. That's going to be interesting. And today, Monday, Bake, our retail arm of the Cake Group, is launching the new app. So that's going to be an interesting one. It's going to happen in stages, step by step. Some users are going to get it earlier. Some are going to get it a bit later. We're going to look into giving it to elite customers first. So let's see a bit of the rollout and all of that. But as a whole, this is, very, very exciting. I'm looking forward to the feedback. I'm looking forward to everything. I've been testing the app for quite some time now. I love it. I think it's so good to use. Everything very, very smooth. I totally love it. So quite an interesting one. And again, if you're not a Bake customer yet, then go to bake.io, sign up, get going, start your dollar cost averaging into crypto, perfect timing, and then compound that, get cash flow on top, and build that sustainable future, take control of your financial destiny. I think that's very nice. With this, I hope that video is of value to you. If it is, let me know in the comments. Help the algo, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Obviously in the podcast, same thing, leave a 5-star review, and then I'll hear you next time. All the best. I'm off to the office. Yours truly, Julian. Bye-bye.